Is my phone buzzing me?
Because it can.
Oh, somebody's trying to break into my Facebook again.
Why?
I don't know. It happens quite often, actually. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. What was I going to say?
That you're the host, Ranting Monkey.
Yeah, something like that. There's a show going on, and I'm audience. That's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
How you doing, my friend?
Same old, same old.
Oh, laughing hurts. I got to stop doing that. I was over with Mikey. I was up on Mike's show tonight, Mike Harlow, and
How's he
yeah,
doing?
he's doing well. Told him he's got to come back because he's more liked than I am around here, and hopefully, me and him be able to get a show hooked up soon with him back over here. And we keep trying to get me on his show, and you know how my timing is, Jack.
Yeah.
But tonight he had a call-in show where he has viewers call in to Streamlabs and hang out, and like, fuck it, I'll go do that. Oh, Monkey, I get to hear the first part live. Well, welcome. But yeah, I had a good time over there, and not much else that I've done. I did scrub moss off my driveway the other day. That was pleasant. Moss doesn't come up real easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it stinks. And then I had the taste in my mouth for like the rest of the day because I couldn't do it standing up. I had to sit down and do it because of my back.
Yeah.
So I got the taste in my mouth. So I'm trying to go to sleep last night, and like all I taste is moss, and it's just fucking gross. Anyway, guys, we're here tonight to laugh at Kamala Harris because how fucking embarrassing is that?
I mean, there's a lot of embarrassing things she does.
Well, there's a lot that she does, but this one is a little more tangentially related to her. It's losing the Teamsters, man.
Yeah.
So, yesterday, the Teamsters post this stuff. The Teamsters rank and file presidential poll results. Question: who should the Teamsters endorse? And when Biden was in the race, Biden was beating Trump 44-36. Still, I find 36 respectable for Trump with the Teamsters.
Yeah, that's surprisingly good for a Republican with the unions.
But then Kamala takes over, and they did two different polls. This is one of them. We'll look at the next one in a second. This one was electronic. This is done online. 59-34 for Trump. 59.6. If you round that, it's 60% for Trump from the fucking Teamsters. And guys, this isn't Fox News poll. This is the Teamsters poll. And then during their phone interview, it was pretty much the same, 58%, except for Kamala has an even lower number because it was 34 on the other one, and this one's 31.
Wow.
The Teamsters came out and said that they weren't endorsing anyone because Kamala didn't win a majority. Let me pull up their actual statement because it's fucking ridiculous, Jack. How does Kamala lose the Teamsters?
The cackling, I assume.
Is this the one? Where's their comment? After reviewing 6 months of nationwide member polling and wrapping up nearly a year of rank and file roundtable interviews, the union's left with few commitments. They found no definitive support among members for either party's nominee. That's their wording. No definitive support. It's 60-30. At best, it's 60-35. How is that not definitive support?
I don't know.
Can you imagine if there was an election and let's say that the coming presidential election, Kamala wins 60% of the vote, and including the electoral vote, Jack, and Trump only gets 30, and coming out and going, I don't think we have a real clear winner here. I have never seen anything this stupid before, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Even as bad as polls are. How do you come out with there's no definitive support? In the poll that you see on your screen right now, even if you give the undecideds and don't knows to Kamala, she still loses by 14%. This does not look good for the Democrats. Do you guys understand how much they've been pushing for labor this year? How much they've been talking about workers' rights and working conditions and building from the bottom in and the middle towards the center, or whatever the fuck it is Biden says. Kamala Harris came out and her first question, like, how are you going to fix the economy, was, I grew up in a middle-class household. And she can't even get the Teamsters. That is amazing. You know, when I was talking with Mike today, he asked me about my thoughts on the election, and I get it. If you're watching the mainstream media, you might be thinking, "Oh man, Trump, he might lose this thing." Right now, with stuff like this, I don't see Trump losing this election. There's not even a way to cheat to make Trump lose this election when you can't secure the Teamsters.
Yeah, that's pretty pathetic. But still go out and vote because every vote matters.
Yes, absolutely, still vote.
Because there's going to be some fortification. Also, I was instructed to ask you to check your DMs for something from Lightmaster 10. Something about the deep state. I don't really care beyond that. I'm relaying a message.
I will check it out when we are off the air. Thank you, Cigar Chomping Penguin. This doesn't surprise me, actually. I'm a shop steward with Local 6, St. Louis. And when I go to meetings, what few political bumper stickers and such I see are in support of Trump. I guess it still shocks me because Teamsters and Democrats, it's been 40 years since the Teamsters have backed a Republican. And it's been 30 years since they refused to back anyone. And
yeah,
and if they're not going to back anyone, the fact that they released this poll showing what their members think,
that's a roundabout signal. Like,
yeah.
hey now.
I said to one of the Krassensteins, I don't remember which, because he's like, "You're not going to win New York." Apparently, Democrats are really upset that Trump dared have a rally in New York, and I just point out Harris can't even get the Teamsters. And Brian said, neither can Trump. Like,
Beg to differ, bucko.
Just because they didn't endorse him doesn't mean that he doesn't have the Teamsters. It's pretty fucking clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is ongoing. They say basically since Biden dropped out, they've been doing this. And yeah, that is not a good. This is embarrassing for them. They've made their whole platform about abortion, and we're gonna help the local unions and make sure that you got paternity leave in case you're male lactating. and this is the result. This is sad. This is sad. And remember, this is with Joe Biden's push for Teamsters and unions and all that nonsense on top of Kamala trying it.
Yeah, it's pretty sad when the Teamsters, I mean, a major union is at least alluding to supporting you.
Yeah.
But they haven't done anything for workers. They talk about it a lot, but they don't actually do anything for them. Not just the unions, I mean the Democrats.
Which Krassenstein is the dumb one, relatively speaking? Ed. Ed is absolutely the dumber of the two. It's a low bar. But yeah, if you follow the two of them, I hate saying this, but Brian is the smarter one. But that's like saying herpes is the better STD than AIDS. I mean, it's still, you got an STD for the rest of your life. All right, Jack, speaking of Miss Harris, we got to see her because, whoo, boy, is she. Did you see her today where she went Latina?
Yes, yes, that was a thing that happened.
Yeah, it is indeed a thing that happened. And here we go.
I love you back.
I love you back.
She's terrible at accents.
I sincerely want to see Donald Trump start doing this. Like, if he sees a black person in the crowd, just go into the most stereotypical black voice he can do.
Oh, he would get so much shit from the news media.
Just listen to this again, guys.
I love you back.
I love you back. Can I cut your lawn for you? Do you want a taco or a burrito? Fuck, it's not even a good one. It's just, I can do a better Speedy Gonzalez. I think most people can.
Yeah, which is, I mean, at least Speedy Gonzalez was cool. This is just sad.
This is so fucking racist, man.
A little bit, yeah.
Look, if we didn't hear all of the shit about cultural appropriation, blah, 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 they're the ones who decided this shit is racist, not me. Right? I'm not the one that decided if you're talking in a Indian accent that you're being racist to Indian people. That's their side. But apparently a black Indian woman can go into Hispanic ghetto speak and it's fine.
Yeah, her weird, like, Puerto Rican Spanglish.
Yeah. AOC taught me how to talk like this. It's just, it's so sad. So sad. Can't imagine why the Teamsters don't want to be associated with her. I also want to play this clip from that same talk. She was talking to the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. Am I the only one bothered by the fact that we have racial groups in our fucking Congress?
Yeah, I know.
I feel like that's what's the word I'm looking for here? Kind of fucking racist.
A little bit.
So let's pull this one up on the screen. But she's talking to them, and of course, she's talking to Latinos. So clearly, she's got to talk about immigration, right? You can't talk to Hispanic people in the United States and not talk about all of the illegals that they're related to are going to be kicked out of the country. Once again, their accidental racism. Okay, accidental is probably the wrong word. Is some of the most
I'd say secretive.
Yeah, it's some of the most blatant shit you can see. They will say this to Hispanic people who are like, I want to vote for Trump. Like, well, I hope none of your relatives get deported. Like, bitch, you do know some of them came here legally, right? You get mad when, do you remember in 2016, the big push for immigration where they were like, hey, not all illegals came from below the border. But every time they're talking about it, especially if they're talking to Hispanics, it's like, hey, slightly brown person, your family's going to get kicked out. It's so fucking racist. Anyway, so here she is. She's very upset, Jack. Well, we'll get that off my screen. All right.
And now they have pledged to carry out the largest deportation, a mass deportation in American history. Imagine what that would look like and what that would be.
It would look glorious and it would be glorious.
It'd be hella awesome.
We wouldn't have to carry out the largest kicking out of immigrants ever if you hadn't allowed them all in, bitch.
Yeah. Even legal immigrants are like, hey, I had to go through hell to get here.
Yeah.
Fuck these freeloaders. These line jumpers.
Thank you, Frosted. Trump needs to wear a sombrero and shake maracas. Indeed. I want him to go out there and just act like her and watch them all freaking call him racist. Because it would be one of the most beautiful things to see. But anyway, did you see how mad she was here, Jack?
Yeah.
She's angry at the notion of deporting illegals. And this is her speech to the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. But hey, guys, she's not for open borders, and she's going to control the border in ways you've never seen before. Chicago Mike, thank you for becoming a member for month number 15. Hi, Monk and Jack. Wait, my parents who came from Cuba in 1961 became citizens in 68 can be deported? According to Democrats, yes. They really want you to be afraid that your relatives are all going to be deported. It's so fucking racist, man.
That's so fucking dumb.
It is. They're the ones who are like, all of them are illegal. And then they like, Republicans think all Mexicans are illegal. Nah, bro, that's you. You're the one that pushes that nonsense. The prosecutor's mad about enforcing the law because, well, yeah. It's amazing watching how mad they get about this, about the notion of deporting illegals. Like, oh, it would be the most illegals we've ever deported. Can you believe that? Look, I know there's a lot of rich people that are going to have to either start actually paying people or raise their own kids and cut their own lawns, but I'm okay with that. I'll take that hit. Devil Fruit, thank you. Well, they are cough voters. Yeah. Yeah. They don't want them to vote. They just want them legalized so they can vote. I mean, they're already changing the demographics, and the next census is going to be so fucking blown out of proportion. Do you realize if we don't stop this now, what the 2030 census is going to look like? The one study I saw, and it said, I think there'll be an additional 11 House seats, all in Democratic areas, mind you, just because illegals live there. People who can't vote in our country. But because we're not allowed to discount them from the representation, thank you, Supreme Court.
Can we still use the 3/5 rule?
No, we can't.
Oh.
Just as it exists right now, they'd pick up like 11 House seats. You think those are going to go to, maybe Democrats?
Maybe they'll go to whoever promises them the most free shit.
Yeah, that's where the eventual votes will go. But when it comes to appropriation of representatives, it's going to go to the sanctuary cities. That's where the people are living.
Yep.
And what are the sanctuary cities? Well, they're all Democrat. Good luck, New York. I hope the extra seats are worth it. House seats.
Sorry.
House seats in the kitchen for the servants? No. United States House of Representatives. Sorry, Jack. What were you saying?
Did you see that clip I sent you of her?
Maybe. I have to go see what you sent me to know. I try to watch everything people send me.
That's not possible.
Oh God, yes. Yes. There's a longer version of that I was going to play, and I don't remember if I kept it.
Also, did you see Karine Jean-Pierre responding to Peter Ducey?
No.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to find that clip. That's something we need to watch because it's so embarrassing.
Shit, I can't find the longer version. And the only reason I wanted the longer version because it was even more retarded than this version. But let's go ahead and pull this up here. This is my pulling it up song. All right.
Do you have full confidence in the Secret Service to protect all of you?
I do.
I do. The question's answered. Oddly enough, she answered a question. But you'll notice this clip goes on for another 49 seconds. Oh, fuck. Take it away, dummy.
Do you feel safe for you and your family?
I do. But, I mean, you can go back to Ohio. Not everybody has Secret Service.
What?
Yeah.
And there are far too many people in our country right now who are not feeling safe. I mean, I look at Project 2025 and I look at, you know, like the Don't Say Gay laws coming out of Florida. Members of the LGBTQ community don't feel safe right now.
How many? Okay, the Don't Say Gay bill is like what, 3 years old at this point?
Oh, at least.
How many gay people have been killed because of the Don't Say Gay bill?
Millions.
Millions, yeah. They don't feel safe. They're pussies. They'll never feel safe. I'm just saying. Literally nothing has happened to them. The Don't Say Gay bill told teachers they're not allowed to have sexual conversations or talk about their sex lives with kids. And the original telling of that was kindergarten through third grade. And they're like, this is so mean to gay people. Why would you feel unsafe unless you were planning on having sexual conversations with kids? In which case, you shouldn't feel safe because you should be in a jail. Anyhow, Monkey, I'm in danger. Why are you in danger?
Now, immigrants or people with an immigrant background don't feel safe right now. Women don't feel safe right now. And
that's different. Nobody is shooting at random women.
That's hey. She hangs around male feminists. You don't know that.
Okay, that's a fair point. I stand corrected.
If I was a liberal woman and I hung around male feminists, I would be scared of men constantly.
Yeah, because male feminists are creepers.
You're going to get raped and killed, and not necessarily in that order.
Yeah, that's sadly a good point.
And so, yes, I feel safe. I have Secret Service protection, but that doesn't change my perspective on the importance of fighting for the safety of everybody in our country.
What? All right. The question is about, do you feel safe with the Secret Service? Because Donald Trump has been shot at and somebody else had a bead on him. The guns got very close to the former sitting. That's why you're being asked this. And once again, this bitch can't just answer the fucking question.
Why would she want to do that?
Instead, she's like, yeah, but immigrants don't feel safe. We can go to Ohio. And women and people don't feel safe. What the fuck are you talking about? I get, a segue, but that's not even a good segue. The question is literally about the competence of our Secret Service, the people we put in charge of protecting our leaders. And she's like, but sometimes immigrants, people say mean stuff. Jack, would you?
Yeah, you're not wrong. Also, she's stupid. She's like, oh, yes, yeah, I understand the Secret Service thing that you're talking about. It's kind of a thing. But you know who's not safe? Women. People in Ohio, they don't have it. You can't hug your child with nuclear arms. What the fuck are you babbling about, woman? No, it keeps us safe. Guns. Yep. Yeah. She's just bad at this. Hey, Donald, how you doing, man? Oh, hey, Colorful. Hey, Cannibal. How you guys doing? Salty Balls. I'm a wood chipper technician. Oh, yeah, that's a thriving industry in the near future, I suspect. Yeah, there's a train going by. It's like half a mile away, too. So, I don't know why it's so loud. There's not even any windows open in here. Yet I feel safe, but others don't. The safety of their reproductive rights. Shut up. That's terrible segue. Who wrote that speech? Yeah, 'cause she can't do any of this on her own. She needs help. All by myself. What's up, LG? Yeah, same old here. I don't feel safe as a cat in Ohio. Yeah, that's pretty unsafe. especially if you get down near Springfield. Trump feels really safe. Yeah, I'm sure. Great, picked up some great comics and a few awesome toys. Oh, that's cool. Nice. Megatron has fallen. That's right. Hail Starscream. Oh, there he is. Oh shit. He's back. Better stop talking about it. I'm from Dayton. Chicken wings aren't safe here. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Oh, there he goes. Oh, there he is. Are you back? Nope. Okay. Well, yeah. They could say that cat stuff's not happening, but there are 911 calls about it that have been released. They're out there in the ether on the X machine. Thank you, Chicago Mike, for supporting the channel. He said, "Did Harris go to the TEDx School of Answering Questions?" That would not surprise me, actually. Everyone look busy. Monkey's coming. Marco Polo with Monkey. Yeah. Oh, I'm alone again. Oh, alone again. We need a bingo card? Yeah, probably.
Sorry about that. My coughing apparently upset my microphone, and I had to go reset the whole thing in the settings.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, not a big deal. Easy to fix. And it can reconnect it immediately, so no big deal. Just I didn't think quick enough to back out and come in, which I know you have to do with a mic change on this. I'm just not a smart man, Jack. Okay.
Well, you're a busy guy. You got a lot of thinking to do. Mostly about your fuzzy kitty cats and your grandkids.
Oh man, my fuzzy kitty cat. She has this little round toy. It's flat and round. It's got this scratching pad in the center of it, and then there's a ball that goes on a track around the outside.
Yeah.
It's one of her favorite toys. But she can pull the ball out, and she does it very often. It's cute to watch because she'll pick it up and play with it and then put it back in. But occasionally she gets overzealous and loses it under furniture.
Yeah.
And I went upstairs earlier today for a few minutes, which I haven't really spent any time up there. I'm starving, Jack. I haven't eaten in 2 days. I've had like 6 cherry tomatoes in 2 days. I really should go eat.
Yeah, you know, your wife might be willing to bring you food.
I'm not willing to ask.
Oh my god! If
anyway,
your daughter's listening, I'll ask her to call your wife and have her bring you food.
I went up there, and Lady Monkey told me that Phoebe had been missing her ball for 2 days. I'm like, oh no, this can't stand. And so I found it, and she spent like the next 45 minutes just playing with it.
Nice.
She's so cute.
Hey, how is your daughter doing anyway? Is she okay?
I quote, fine.
Oh, okay. So she's good.
Yes, she's pithy in her commentary. Yeah, for anybody who didn't hear, she got rear-ended today, and there's a weird thing that happens to you as a dad. My daughter's a grown-ass adult. She's got her own kids and everything. But when I heard somebody rear-ended her, I went into dad rage mode.
Yeah.
Like, let me find the fucker that did that to my little girl.
You hurt my baby. Yeah.
I will fuck you up. I don't care if it was her fault, which it wasn't. I don't care if it was her fault. You don't hit my child. But no, she's fine from what so another grandkid incoming. Yes. It's supposed to be here in November. Wow. No, wait. Yeah, November.
That's creeping up on you.
Granddaughter number 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have a lot of female genes in that pool.
Well, my generation in my family, we had boys. My wife was just 2 girls, so 3 boys, 2 girls. Our children, a boy and 2 girls, and my children's children are now all girls. I think it's a plot to take over the world by the estrogen class.
I would not be surprised. You know, I found this out. What we have run in our family, it's not gender specific, but we have twins and midgets.
Really?
Yeah.
Are
apparently
there
the
twin
twin
midgets?
thing skips a generation.
Are there any twin midgets?
I don't know, but I was like, what if I got somebody pregnant with twin midgets?
I'd buy them.
I'm going to make them dress up like babies when they're like 30 and run around and pretend to be babies because it would amuse me.
JB, thank you. In gaming news, did you see that allegedly the CEO of the makers of Space Marine 2 left a comment on a YouTube video? Maybe it's him. The company said no comment to the journos, and they are pissed. Have to check.
Oh,
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
he came out and admitted that was him.
What did he say? No, I didn't see anything about it. Isn't Space Marines 2 being really well received?
Yeah, but they said that the game is a response to the messaging they keep trying to push.
Oh,
So it's more balls out, bang bang, shoot 'em up kind of stuff.
huh. Yeah, I'll have to look into it. I know nothing about it. The only thing that I've really seen about gaming recently is I saw some guy, I forget his name. I watch him occasionally, but never pay attention. Out there bitching about Ubisoft. I will learn to say that properly one day.
No, you won't.
And he had some good points about problems with Ubisoft as a company. Their monetization model that they use, they have monetization in offline single player games. It's fucking retarded. They deserve criticism for that. Their story writing has just gone to complete shit. But then he bitches about things like the game is repetitive. I dare anybody to show me a game where what you're doing isn't repetitive.
That's
but it's
most
repetitive.
games, though.
It's such a lame, fucking lazy criticism. The other one was the sequels are just like the previous games. No shit, it's a fucking sequel.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is out there going, I really want to play more of this game? I just hope it's entirely different. Those are dumbass, retarded complaints that people don't actually put any thought into. And it drives me nuts when people do that shit. Concentrate on the real issues. Because the issue isn't, oh my God, I got to shoot that guy and I just shot 40 guys. Because that's what the games all are, for fuck's sake. But anyway, sorry.
Dark Resurrect said the lead dev of Saber stated that he was at Embracer and almost cried because all the games are so full of messaging and not fun. And this was his response to it.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I like 40K, but I don't know shit about video games. Played the tabletop for several years.
I just have a problem with the whole notion of messaging. It would be one thing if they were good at writing. You can sneak in quite a bit of subtext if you learn what subtext is.
That involved learning, and they don't do that because it's about the message, buddy.
No, now it's just like full on, we're going to push this stupid ass nonsense on you. I saw somebody today, they were like, have you ever noticed it's only the female-led shows that get beat up on?
I saw that. People's responses were like, yeah, well, we love Buffy.
Yeah, the problem isn't female-led. The problem is that it's all the woke bullshit.
Yeah, it's
and it just happens
messaging. It's not fun.
Yeah, and it happens that because of their woke bullshit, they always put a woman in the lead.
Yeah. The problem is that they're poor at writing, they're lazy, and they're not smart people. So it's not particularly helpful.
And
yeah, I play that, Chris. I play that Tacticus app game. It's pretty fun, actually. Some of it is pay to win, but you don't have to pay to have fun in it.
Anyway, this is all in response to the new Agatha All Along coming out from Marvel.
The show nobody asked for, and audience is a mystery.
Yeah. If you guys have seen anything about it, it's not out yet, at least as far as I know, but it looks horrible. Which so far has been a pretty good indication that it's going to be horrible.
Yeah.
And look, maybe they'll surprise us. I don't fucking know.
I doubt it.
But one of the actresses came out, and I'm not making this up, said that the show is going to end in a gay explosion, which sounded like the end of a circle jerk in movies I don't watch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be the gayest Marvel show ever, or some stupid bullshit like that. I don't care. What's the audience for that? What's the story? You're not telling me anything. You are not selling me on this show. You're just
Look, there will be people who tune in for the gayest Marvel ever, and all 6 of them are not going to cover the cost of this show.
Yeah, that's not a selling point. It never has been. It never will be. Make a good show. If you want gay characters in it, make the show good. Don't make it stupid and just about them being gay, gay, gay.
At one time, the sitcom Soap was the gayest show on TV. You realize that, right?
Yeah.
At one time, MASH was the gayest show on TV. But it wasn't what the shows were about. They just happened to have gay characters in them at a time when gay characters on TV just weren't seen. But now it's like, look, everyone's gay.
Because they hire shit writers now.
Yeah. Shit writers who self-insert. And if it's not self-insert, it's their ideology being inserted in blatant, unfun ways.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking on Mike's show tonight, and one of the other guests brought up the show Modern Family. And again, don't watch the last season of Modern Family. It's just trash.
Yeah.
But if you watch, like, especially the first 3 seasons, that show is funny as fuck.
Yeah, that was well done. Not my thing, but I get it.
2 of the characters on there are a gay couple who adopted a little girl. But they don't shy away from making gay jokes, which they absolutely would never do today.
No.
Only the gay characters would be allowed to make gay jokes.
Yeah, you couldn't do that.
But they had prominent gay characters, but the show was fun. And that's just not what they do with this shit anymore. It's preaching. It's like going to fucking church for the woke. And I don't like church. I never liked church, Jack. It always bored the shit out of me.
Yeah, I'm not much of a church person. Mostly
I don't know why.
fall asleep.
I don't know why Jesus wanted me to be a bored 5-year-old, but apparently he did. Anyhow, yeah, so that's all in response to this new gayest show ever. Why do they keep saying that? What fucking idiot out there saw the backlash to the Acolyte and was like, you know what I want to do? Tank my show too.
Yeah, well, they haven't learned the lesson. They haven't learned anything from the Acolyte.
Oh. And look, it's not like you can't have gay shows. I mean, SNL exists.
Yeah, it's pretty gay. Broadway's still here.
Yeah. Broadway is gayer than 8 guys blowing 9 guys.
Yeah.
And it's been around forever. People go to musical theater all the time. It's amazing how many shows fail, but still.
Still pretty gay.
Oh God, is that picture again? I don't even know the context of this, but I'm going to bring it up because I had to see it. So does everyone else now. Man, why is that doing that? There we go. All right. So avert your eyes if you don't want to have this burned in your skull. I don't even know what's going on right there, but I kind of appreciate it. You have a fat little midget in leather gear standing next to a Antifa member, as best I can describe him.
I think that's an Alice Cooper impersonator as a midget, but I'm not sure.
Is that what that's supposed to be?
I don't know. That's all I could guess from looking at it.
Somebody tagged me in this shit and fuck you for doing so. But yeah, I laughed way too hard at this picture. Oh man. Why?
I don't know, that mugshot I sent you earlier was funnier.
You know, I laughed at the mugshot and then I read the story and I just got irritated.
Yeah.
So we might as well go to that one now. Oh God, this is on the Daily Mail. I should have archived this shit. The Daily Mail just has so many problems.
I couldn't remember if you were still having problems with the archive or not.
It depends on the day.
Oh, that's
And I don't know why.
lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just going to archive it myself and it wouldn't open the archive. Wait, there we go. See if anybody else was nice enough to archive this for us. Yes, thank God. Yeah, going to the Daily Mail is just shit. Hopefully the picture's saved in here too. If not, we'll bring up the picture separately, Jack. Deep Red State will have to pay for transgender baby murderers male to female surgery. Oh no, there's the picture. There it is. Isn't she pretty?
Stunning and brave.
For some reason, her right eye is not trusting whatever's over on the left. She's so pretty. This dude killed a child.
Yep.
An 11-month-old child. And a judge ordered the state of Indiana to pay for their medical transition and to send them to a female prison.
Yep. That's why
Federal
we
judge.
need to fix the judge or the court system too.
A federal judge ruled that Autumn Cordellione, who was born Jonathan Richardson, had been subjected to cruel and unusual punishment after being denied gender-affirming surgery, according to the ACLU, which filed the suit. Fuck the ACLU. They are a bunch of degenerate fuckwads.
Yep.
They are horrible, horrible people, and I hope bad things happen to them for the rest of their lives. And I hope they live a long time. United States District Court Judge Richard, maybe because his name's Richard, he was like, yeah, don't have that thing associated with me. Because the name used to be Richardson, see?
Yeah.
Ordered that the Department of Corrections must provide Cordellione. How come they always nobody's just Jane Smith when they transmute?
No, it's always some fucked up, weird sounding like Skylar Manifestia.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Ordered that the Department of Corrections must provide the surgery at the earliest opportunity. You know what? I just would not have any opportunities available.
Yeah.
Today marks a
security issue.
A significant victory for transgender individuals in Indiana's prisons, unless you're a woman who's about to get raped by this guy.
Yeah.
ACLU of Indiana's legal director, Ken Falk, said in a statement, denying evidence-based medical care.
Yeah.
Sorry. Medical-based. Get fucked. Based medical care to incarcerated people simply because they are transgender is unconstitutional. We are pleased that the court agreed. Do you remember when cruel and unusual punishment meant not tarring and feathering people?
Yeah, not like whipping them daily and withholding food and chaining up in a room full of rats with like 5 other dudes and making them smell each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
now
the definition of cruel and unusual has shifted quite a bit.
Now it's, hey, I can't watch TV, or I can't go hang out with the chicks. Okay. The inmate is currently serving a 55-year prison sentence for the strangulation, this says her, I'm going to correct that, of his 11-month-old stepdaughter after admitting to killing the little fucking bitch.
Yep.
He strangled an 11-year-old to death.
No, an 11-month-old.
Sorry, 11-month-old. Thank you. 11-month-old, and called that child a little fucking bitch. And now, if you live in Indiana, you get to pay for this deluded degenerate, this baby murderer.
Yeah. I was going to go with reprobate, but, degenerate works really well.
His wiener cut off. Aw.
I'm all for cutting his wiener off, but for a different reason.
Not his way.
Yeah, the rusty poo knife kind of way.
Yep, and then rammed right up his ass.
Yep, where it belongs.
He murdered an 11-month-old, and it's cruel and unusual not to give him gender affirming care.
What is wrong with our country that this shit is allowed to stand?
So many things.
I mean, we have come so far down from where we were. It used to be we would execute these people and everybody would have a fucking picnic about it because
Yep.
everybody hated these kind of fucking monsters. And now they get everything they want.
Look, I just want to be very clear here. This person should be dead.
Yes.
The state should have put him in the electric chair, dropped him off a bridge. I don't fucking care. He murdered an 11-month-old.
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously had no shame about it.
My youngest granddaughter is just about that age, Jack, and I cannot imagine harming her. And if anybody did, I would do my best to end them.
Yeah. And we don't normally talk about these kind of things with crimes like this, but dear God, this asshole gets gender affirming care and transferred to a women's prison after what he did. No.
Oh, I'm not going to scroll down further. I just want to point this out. They talk about another case in here where this was forced on a state, and it cost him almost $500,000 for the surgery.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
That's what you folks in Indiana are going to be paying for.
Yeah, I hope this gets thrown out on appeal, but we know
It won't. It might get thrown out if it makes it all the way up to the Supreme Court. But as they're calling it, evidence-based medical care, it'll probably be allowed.
Fucking disgusting. What a waste of our time. Why are we supporting all of these evil people?
Because they're in charge.
Yeah, and they should be.
I've seen this said many times recently, and I don't know if we've talked about it all here or not, but we have a crisis of empathy in our country. We have a crisis where everything is about feelings, logic, common sense, just basic moral decency. Fuck all of that. Don't you feel bad for this guy who's actually a girl and has to be forced to live like a girl or like a guy just because he murdered an 11-month-old?
No, I don't feel bad for him.
But
I don't care how monstrous they seem to think that is. This person's a fucking monster.
You're not wrong, but there's people who think like that. Like, I realize they did something horrible, but it's just so mean to not accept him for the identity that he identifies as.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous.
He strangled an 11-month-old. You think I give a fuck about cruelty to this guy?
Yeah.
Fuck him. Anyway, sorry. Oh. Yeah, I saw the picture, but I then read the story and I just got fucking angry.
Yep. That was pretty much what happened with me too. Because it's like, what the fuck am I looking at? Oh dear Lord. I have to share this with Monkey.
Uh-oh.
What?
What are you? What has to be shared? Oh, you were saying that's what you said at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I had a brain fart because I was bringing up a picture for the next thing we'll talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when prison was supposed to be punishment? Yeah.
Yeah, now it's more like a vacation for perverts. This is a good time to remind everybody we're brought to you by you. If you're enjoying the show, please hit the like button, share it on your social media, subscribe if you haven't, and if you're feeling generous, you can toss us some money at the Streamlabs links in the description.
All right, Jack. Our Congress in action today. This is the vote, the final vote on the government funding until March 28, 2025. That includes the SAVE Act.
Yeah.
So this is the continuing resolution that will allow our government to not be shut down. Not that it ever fucking is. Republicans tanked this bill. There's 14 of them who voted against it. And their reasoning is that they don't agree with the spending, which is fine. I get it. But here's the reality. This funding is going through. It's going to go through. The reason the Democrats didn't vote for this is because of the SAVE Act. For those of you who don't know what the SAVE Act is, it explicitly states that illegals are not allowed to vote in our country. And the Democrats are like, they can't vote now. Then why do you care about a federal law that says they can't?
Yeah.
So these fucking 14 dipshit Republicans, instead of getting this and getting something out of what we all know is going to happen, we all know this continuing resolution is going to go through because the the Republicans do not have the balls to say no. Wouldn't Biden just veto it anyway? I don't know that Biden would veto it right now when their biggest obstacle to getting Kamala in office is the border. But these guys chose to side with the Democrats. I'm sorry, with their principles.
Yeah.
With their principles.
Yeah, with their landscaping and babysitters.
And so this doesn't get to be in the law that gets sent on to the Senate so that they can just give the Democrats everything they want in a week.
Yep.
This is bad politics. Look, as I said, this is going through. It always goes through. And you had a chance to at least get something out of it. And you cunts didn't even try because I'm standing on my principle.
Well, you know what they always say is Republicans are really good at snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Oh, yeah. Senate was going to strip it out anyway. Then have that fight. Make them strip it out. Make the headlines. Democrats won't pass a bill because it says illegals can't vote.
Yeah, it would have made the Democrats look bad.
Yeah, if I was a Republican, I would be chomping at the bit to have that fight. In this presidential election, are you kidding?
Yeah.
But no, these fucking pussies are like, I'd rather have nothing. Well, you got nothing, and the Democrats are going to get their way as they always do.
That's just safer that way. We're just better off if we don't win, you guys.
Yeah. They're such fucking pussies, man. I get it. I don't like the continuing resolution, and I don't know if you saw Massey's thing on this. He's 100% right. He's like, we always come in here and we pretend that we're going to fight for stuff, and it goes through every time. I don't know why we're even going through the charade.
Yeah.
And they had a chance. They had a chance here to have a fight. And somebody said, like, the press would report on it. Maybe the mainstream wouldn't, but it would get out there. And you'd have that on your side, and you could point it to your friends and go, look, they're the ones who voted against this. Why? Instead, they're like, no, there's my foot. Where's my gun?
Where's my Cheney gun?
All right. Speaking of tards, we gotta check out Nancy Pelosi, my friend, because this might be the most diluted thing on the internet today, Jack.
I know. This is so fucking dumb. She is so stupid.
Thank you, Michael. I'm a Teamster and I'm voting for Trump. Back to the beginning. God bless, fellas. Well, thank you so much, Michael. Enjoy the show.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
You had reportedly said you wanted a sort of an open primary if Joe Biden stepped down. Did you change your mind because you saw all the excitement around Kamala Harris?
No, I didn't change my mind. We had an open primary and she won it. Nobody.
When was this?
This is one of those videos where if I paused it every time I wanted to, we wouldn't even be at 3 seconds yet.
Yeah.
First of all, there was no excitement about Kamala outside of the press. I mean, Jack, we went into town the other day and I saw just yard after yard with Trump, 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 Trump. I haven't seen a single Kamala one. Granted, I do live in a more conservative area, but anybody out there seeing just tons of giddiness for Kamala?
Yeah, I live in a largely union area, and there are almost no Kamala signs. There's a few, but there's a lot more Trump ones than there were a few years ago.
Did you change your mind because of all of the excitement for Kamala? And I'll give Pelosi credit there. At least she didn't lie and pretend there was excitement for Kamala.
No, she lied and said there was a primary.
There was a primary. All right. Let's let her get to the rest of her dumbass answer here.
Kamala Harris.
No, I didn't change my mind. We had an open primary and she won it. Nobody else got in the race.
Nobody else was allowed to know when it was happening, apparently.
The gaslighting. The fucking gaslighting. Hey, Nuts, how you doing, sweetheart?
Hi, Stargazer.
We totally had a primary and she won. Well, you totally had a primary and she didn't get a single fucking vote for president. What are you talking about, you crazy old coot? Are you talking about the backdoor dealings that nobody got to see? And you're like, no, we all voted for Kamala.
There was a super serial primary that only like 3 people knew about, and one of them was Kamala, and the other 2 were her friends and they supported her, so she totally won. It was totally super fair, you guys.
Just be honest and say we didn't have time. The main primary was over. Getting it together, a whole nother thing to let everybody vote would have been a monumental undertaking. And so we chose to just go with the chick who happened to be standing there.
We decided to go with the person that could actually access the money.
Yeah. You don't even have to lie in this situation.
You don't have to, but apparently it's more fun.
We had an open primary and just nobody else chose to run.
You've been drinking again, Nancy.
Because she was politically astute, and that was the.
We had to get that part in there because nobody else ran because Kamala was politically astute.
Yeah, no, she was experienced because she's blown politicians. So she's politically experienced.
And people clapped for that bullshit.
Well, a lot of people are just followers.
I hate these people. Why are they so dumb?
Because it can be.
How have they not passed out from lack of oxygen for forgetting that you have to breathe in and out? Since we just showed a Democrat lying, I felt it would be only appropriate, Jack, to show one of them being truthful for a change.
What? They do that?
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen this clip.
House Democrats are committed to putting politics over people.
Yep, that's what she said. And not only did she say it, she stopped to correct herself to say it that way.
Mm-hmm.
House Democrats are committed to putting politics over people.
She started to say people over politics, which is what the line should have been. We're committed to putting politics over people. I mean, yeah, but nobody expects you to say it out loud.
Although I do appreciate the honesty, it's just surprising.
Michael, thank you. Monkey, where do you live? Sorry, that's not Michael, that's Michelle. Monkey, where do you live? Which state? I live in Michigan. Feel bad for me.
We do.
All right. I just wanted to we were talking about games earlier, and because of the video I watched about Ubisoft, sorry, I went and read, because the guy, like, the end of Ubisoft is the name of his video, or something hyperbolic like that. And so I did a search just to, check out Ubisoft, see how things were going. They just had their game Star Wars Outlaws come out.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen of the game, Jack, it's just boring. And
it didn't look very good.
Yeah, it just looks boring as shit. But a Reuters report says sales of Star Wars Outlaws are sluggish. It sold like 5.5, or they're expecting this total sales like 5.5 million copies, which might sound like a lot until you realize how much they spend on video games these days to make them.
Yeah.
It took a lot to make that woman look ugly in that game.
Yeah, it probably did.
But anyway, the sales are sluggish, quoting JP Morgan analyst Daniel Kerbin as saying that the game, quote, has struggled to meet our sales expectations despite positive critical reviews. I think we have a clue. Much like with movies and television and pretty much anything, I don't know why they keep making them for critics instead of audiences.
They don't like money, they like accolades.
I guess. Thank you, Ebony. Could be worse, Monk. You could be living in California. That's true. That is true. I mean, Michigan's not much better, but we didn't just make it illegal to meme. Fucking, we'll get to that in a minute too.
Yeah, it's hold up.
Guys, be careful if you're in California, because if you tweet out the wrong meme, the wrong clear parody, you could end up going to jail for it. Hey, you know what the First Amendment is? Anyway,
That's
just
not optional.
Just when I read this, I'm like, why do you guys keep putting so much emphasis on what critics think? When are you going to get it through your heads that, and this goes back long before the wokeism and all this shit. You go back to very popular movies throughout the years, and the critics are all like, I didn't like that. There were fart jokes in it. Meanwhile, they're beating themselves off to say, well, there was piano music in it, so it was the greatest thing ever. If you look at what critics like versus what the general population likes, it's like they're from another fucking country.
Yeah, they tend to like really artsy, dumb shit.
Yeah. They go to film school to learn to criticize films that they don't even fucking like. It's weird. And when it comes to games, same thing. I mean, the people who are doing game criticism these days don't play games. I mean, the famous thing with Cuphead, the magazine editor gave up on the opening part of the game because I just can't fucking figure out how to left click.
Tutorials are hard, Monkey. There should be an easy mode.
Yeah, and fair point. Yeah, it wasn't even the fucking actual game. It was a tutorial. It was teaching him how to play, and he couldn't figure it out. But yeah, I'm going to take his fucking word on what a good game is. If you guys want to know what a good game is, listen to me. Ask me, and I'll tell you if it's a good game or not. We already did that. I want to get to the do I want to cover this? I kind of do, so we're not going to watch the video because one, it's gross, and two, we don't really need to. This lady was going around, and it's as you can see, she's in bad shape, Jack. Don't worry, she wasn't dating a male feminist. That's not why she has bruises all over her face. She has a disease called PNH, and it's something hemoglobin. It's a blood disorder.
Oh, okay.
And she goes into.
I just assumed she had I didn't do the dishes disease.
No, this isn't a Mario Puzo movie.
Nice.
Thank you. She goes into, I want to say it's somewhere in Los Angeles, one of their medical centers. And she's having complications from her disease, and they give her 3 vaccines, and she doesn't get vaccines because she's Christian. That's a new thing to me. And they won't do anything for her. And look at her, guys, look. And if you watch the video, the shorter video, and you read the tweets that are going out there, like, oh my God, you see Irving, thank you. Can you see all the vaccine did to her? Did you see this vaccine stuff that, oh my God. All right, let's talk about the rest of the story. This woman was diagnosed with her disease back in January, and she's refused treatment. She says because they told her she'd have to give vaccines. The specific vaccines are meningitis, pneumonia, and I can't remember the third one. And I don't know why they want the people who are taking the drugs for this disease to have those specific
the medication might make you more susceptible.
Yeah. And so she refused treatment. And she stayed at home, short of breath, can barely move, until finally she couldn't take it anymore. And she goes into the doctor, and she's like, fine, I'll take the vaccines. but she's refused all treatment except for a steroid they gave her.
What?
Yeah, the bitch is still refusing treatment. This isn't a case of vaccine injury. This is a case of a fucking retard. You know, there's real vaccine injuries out there. There's real people that get side effects and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
And when you push fake ass stories like this attention starved bitch who's refusing treatment. One of the fucking tweets that pissed me off about this, guys, call the hospital and demand she get treatment.
That's not how that works.
The video right here that I have on the screen, she tells you she's refusing treatment. How the fuck are you going to call the hospital and tell them you better treat her when she's like, I'm not going to take any treatment?
Oh, they could force her to take it, I guess.
I suppose.
Against her will.
Strap her dumbass down and give her the treatment so she can get better.
Yeah, Dr. House would.
Jesus fucking Christ. Rihanna looked less abused. Yeah. If you look into the disease PNH, it looks like she has a really severe rare complication of it. I mean, there's people, I went and looked this up, Jack. It's really horrible. People who look like their backs have just been beaten endlessly.
Damn.
Yeah, it's and oddly, it's all those purple splotches. I wonder if they all were forced to take 3 vaccines and that's what did it. Anyway, moving along. Oh, that story pissed me off. I do not trust doctors or hospitals. I think I've been very clear on that. But that's mostly out of their negligence and their not caring, their apathy.
And their inability to wash their hands.
And that's not what happened here. The bitch is just refusing to take her drugs so she can get. And then she goes on to tell some story, Jack, about how her grandma was in the hospital for cancer treatment. But all they wanted to do was put drugs in her grandma. So her grandma left. And she lived 4 months longer.
Jesus.
I was like,
4 whole months. But she could have lived a couple of years.
Well, yeah, you really proved your point with that dumbass story.
You showed them. Guess.
Fuck. Oh, for those of you who heard about the bomb at the Trump event today, did you hear about that, Jack?
Yeah, I heard they said it was a nothing.
It was a nothing burger.
So they say.
What bothers me about it? Okay, so for those of you who don't know the story, there was a Trump rally in New York today, and much earlier in the day, they swept the area, and during the sweep of the area, they bring in the bomb-sniffing dogs, and one of the dogs triggers on this blue barrel that's in somebody's vehicle, which causes this whole panic and everything, except that it wasn't an explosive. They were using a dog they were training.
Yeah, it was a training dog.
Does this seem like the right time for that?
No. Again, this seems like more ineptitude on the behalf of the Secret Service.
Yeah, why in the fuck are you using a Trump rally as the training ground for your pup?
Especially after you've had 2 assassination attempts on him.
Oh my God. Was it a 55-gallon barrel of lube from Amazon? I'm not sure, Foreign Native. It might have been, who was that?
Diddy.
Diddy.
Diddy's.
No, there was somebody on YouTube.
Oh, I don't remember. But
Was that
P. Diddy had a
Tonka?
lot of lube laying around. Did you read about that?
I did not.
Oh my God. You know he got arrested, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. One of the things they took out of his place was a bunch of lubricant.
I'm not shocked by that. I mean, he was raping people left and right, so.
Yeah, well, you got to get your butt stuff to get the Diddy. Yeah.
All right. But yeah, just for anybody, because I still saw several people were like, there was a bomb. No, there wasn't. I mean, there was a scare, but there was no bomb threat there or anything.
That's what they tell us. I'm not ruling anything out. Did you see there were reports of people in one section getting sick?
No.
Yeah, I retweeted it. But I don't
They live in New York. I'm not shocked.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably some dead rats or something.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be around fucking New Yorkers.
Yeah, I don't want to be in New York. It's a shithole. It's like Paris. It smells like pee and it's dirty. It's full of foreigners.
I would love to go see the skyline up close because I'm a big fan of large buildings, especially large glass buildings. I find them beautiful.
Yeah, I'd like to take some photos, but it'd take me like an afternoon. Then
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm out. I'm out
Wouldn't wanna
before
live there.
nightfall.
All right.
Go to Jersey where it's safer.
This one might actually get us in trouble. We should probably talk about the Jews, though. Fucking Jews, man.
I've been laughing about this for days, dude.
This fucking meme killed me.
Yeah.
So, those crafty Jews, and I mean that with compliment, saying it this way.
Oh, this was fucking brilliant, man. Great asymmetrical warfare.
Yeah, they packed some pagers full of explosives and sold them to the terrorist group Hezbollah, and then detonated them.
Yeah.
Killing a few of them. Unfortunately, killed some of their family members, which sucks, including a 9-year-old.
Yeah, but you're gonna have collateral damage in any war.
Yep. Nobody who was completely unrelated to Hezbollah was harmed in the attack.
Yeah, that's what the beauty of this is. There's very minimal damage to people and structures because most of the people that were injured didn't even get killed.
No.
It really only killed a few people.
And then it comes out, was it the next day that they did it with walkie-talkies too?
Yeah, yesterday they blew up walkie-talkies and solar arrays and fingerprint identifying machines. Like, you know how you get in secured doors and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that's brilliant. And pretty much anything with a battery they could overheat.
Not to ask, is that Hamas? No, it's Hezbollah. That's the terrorist organization in Lebanon.
Yeah.
They are.
Interestingly.
I just say they're not affiliated directly with Hamas, but they are fighting Israel because of Hamas. They said they're going to keep attacking Israel over the Gaza thing. So go ahead. I'm sorry, Jack.
Terrorist sympathy thing.
Yeah.
Interestingly, the Iranian ambassador was injured by his pager exploding.
Weird.
Yeah, it's almost like Iran may be connected to them somehow.
It's almost like they back them financially.
Yeah, it's crazy how that works.
I saw apparently there's some American that this was called terrorism, and like there's some Americans who are afraid. Okay, these are very specialized pagers.
Yeah.
These are not the ones you're going to go pick up down. Do we even sell pagers still?
I haven't
You're not
seen
going
a
down
pager
to
in 20 years, dude.
going to
Not a functional
Verizon.
one.
These are specially made pagers that the marketing on this, they might as well have just said terrorist pagers for sale.
Yeah.
They were very targeted. Unless you're part of Hezbollah or your family is, you really don't have anything to be worried about here.
Well, the entire shipment came from a specific company in Hungary, and their office is in Hungary. Nobody knows what they ship it from where because they don't manufacture anything on site. So it's obviously a front group for the Mossad, and nobody caught on.
And these dumb motherfuckers got their hands blown off for it. Good. Fuck the little terrorist shitheads.
Yeah, they had like thousands of people injured, and it's like 20 some dead total between the two incidents. But yeah, if you weren't a Hezbollah fighter of some kind, you were not affected by this in 99% of cases.
Yeah, even the case with the kid who died, his dad was in Hezbollah.
Yeah.
Don't let your kid play with your terrorist pager, dude.
Yeah.
That's on him.
Don't be a terrorist.
Yep. Yeah, speaking of Diddy, this was going around today, Jack, which just amused the shit out of me. This is a 2020 post from Kamala Harris. Thank you, Diddy, for hosting this town hall last night. There's a lot at stake for our communities right now, and it's critical we bring the to the forefront how coronavirus is perpetuating racial inequity and health disparities. I agree. Thank you, Diddy, for COVID awareness as you were beating and raping people.
Yeah. Well,
Good
was he wearing
man.
a mask while he was doing it?
He's not even wearing a mask in the picture.
Oh, real quick. Thank you, Frosted. We at the Secret Service have only the best agents guarding President Trump. We have our lookout up on the roof. We nicknamed her Helen Keller. And we have our finest dogs on loan from a Mr. Vic. And none of our customers live to leave bad reviews. That's accurate.
I do want to say before anybody comes at me with the, hey, Diddy's innocent until proven guilty, blah, blah, blah. I've seen the video of him beating the shit out of that woman, and I feel completely justified in anything I say about that prick. Fuck him, and I hope bad things happen to him for the rest of his very long natural life.
Well, I think they put him in the same prison that Epstein was in, so...
Yeah. All right. What else do we have going on here? Oh, shit. I'd forgotten about this. So ProPublica comes out with a story the other day, Jack. That it's actually part of a story series that they're doing. And it's all about this woman who died because she couldn't get a DNC. A DNC, the abortion method where they yank out the baby piece by piece.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they use that procedure for other things too, like miscarriages when they're too far along, and it's just the easiest way to get the remains out.
Yeah.
But this woman took an abortion pill, and this is what the ProPublica story says. I'm not, you know what? I'll even go dig it out again because hasn't pissed me off enough today. ProPublica, there we go. Life of the Mother is their series, Jack. And
Ew, boring.
wait, did they take the other one down? Oh no, there it is. Wait, yep. Okay, I want to make sure I get the right story here. This is how they present it, and then I'll tell you the real story. Abortion bans have delayed emergency medical care. In Georgia, experts say this mother's death was preventable. At least 2 women in Georgia died after they couldn't access legal abortions and timely medical care in their state, ProPublica has found. This is one of their stories. For the record, they used to have 3 stories, and I don't know which of the 3 they got rid of.
Oh.
But now they only have 2 as part of this Life of the Mother shit.
Huh. That makes me wonder what they got wrong.
Right. Well, everything. In her final hours, Amber Nicole Thurman suffered a grave infection that her suburban Atlanta hospital was well equipped to treat. That's true. She'd taken abortion pills and encountered a rare complication. That part is not true. It's not that rare of a complication. What you women might want to learn, and they won't tell you, is that oftentimes when you take the abortion pill, you don't expel the child completely, and then you get sepsis and die.
Blah, 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 details.
It's not as rare as they want you to think. So, but she did take the abortion pill. She had not expelled all of the fetal tissue from her body. She showed up at Piedmont Henry. Sorry, I thought from where I'm sitting right now, it's very blurred. So I thought it said Hemi, and I'm like, that can't be right.
From the vehicle she was in.
Piedmont Henry Hospital in need of a routine procedure to clear it from her uterus called a dilation and cured. I can't say that. A DSC. But just this summer, her state had made performing the procedure a felony with few exceptions. Any doctor who violated the Georgia law could be prosecuted and face up to a decade in prison. Thurman waited in pain in the hospital bed, worried about what would happen to her 6-year-old son. You weren't there. Shut the fuck up. As her doctor monitored her infection spreading, her blood pressure sinking, and her organs beginning to fail. It took 20 hours for doctors to finally operate. By then, it was too late. The otherwise healthy 28-year-old medical assistant who had her sights set on nursing school should not have died, an official state committee recently concluded. Now, the rest of the story doesn't really give us anything. This is the important part. According to them, the doctors couldn't perform the DNC, yet they did it 20 hours later, Jack.
Weird how that works.
And because of that, this woman died. Except that the state law does not ban DNC in, what did they say? Except rare exception, with few exceptions. It actually specifically states that DNC doesn't fall under their abortion law. I mean, it specifically states that. But look at how this gets put up. Now, at the end of the story, it tells us the doctors refused to comment on this. So maybe this wasn't their reasoning, but they're allowing this to be out there. They're allowing this story to still exist. They could, if they didn't do it because of this supposed DNC ban, they could easily come out and go, that had nothing to do with our decision, and leave it at that, and no HIPAA laws would be violated.
Yeah.
Instead, they're allowing this to hang out there. And if this story is true the way it's told, Jack, they killed this woman so they could make a political point.
Yep.
And it's not the first time we've seen this kind of shit. We saw it in the Texas thing. The lady didn't die there, but like she needs this medical abortion. We'll have the doctor sign off on it. No. Oh my God, they're stopping abortions.
Well, remember the Ohio one where they tried to hide a child rapist?
Yeah. They are allowing women and children to be abused, to be medically experimented on, so that they can claim laws are banning things that aren't banned. And this is going to keep when they keep talking, oh my God, these girls are not going to go seek treatment. Well, why would they when you keep telling them they can't get the treatment? This is fucking retarded. There is literally nothing in the Georgia law that says that you cannot have DNCs. And as I said, it specifically says that DNCs are not part of the abortion law. Not just few exceptions. It's not covered under the law. Written into the goddamn law. But boy, were women up in arms, man. Oh my God, they let a woman die because they just want to control her body. I had one idiot tell me, that's why this should be a decision left to the doctors. Now, you don't even understand what you just said, do you? The doctors are the ones who made the decisions here. This is why I don't trust doctors, Jack. It's shit like this.
Yeah, they might use you as a political pawn.
They knew this woman had taken, at least as far as we know, had taken the abortion pill, and she's got an infection. They wait 20 hours to remove the source of that infection. That doesn't make sense in any medical way whatsoever. But damn it, they just want to, those damn Republicans want to keep women from scraping babies out of their uterus. And these are the lies that you're going to be told. These are the bullshit you're going to hear from people like Kamala Harris as she goes out there and tells you how those damn Republicans want to tell women what they can do with their own body. It should be a doctor and a patient's decision. This was the doctor's decision. Those doctors got that lady killed. And whether it was just simple malpractice or malpractice brought on by political partisanship, I can't say because the doctors won't speak. But I'm seeing a lot of this shit, and you wouldn't have to lie about it if it was real. I hate this shit, Jack. Because I know I'm going to get into an abortion argument within the next 2 months, and somebody's going, there was a lady in Georgia who died because they wouldn't allow a DNC. And how do I know that? Because I had an argument like 2 weeks ago about the Texas case again.
Yeah.
She had to leave Texas. No, she didn't. And like you pointed out with the case of that, how old was she? 12?
10.
10. She had to leave so she could get an abortion. She had to leave Ohio. No, she didn't. You just had to report the rapist. And so you went somewhere where you didn't have to report the child rapist to make an abortion argument, you cunt. Anyhow. Da-da-da-da-da. I also love this from ProPublica. The judge in the, I think it's the documents case. Well, what's her name? Judge Cannon. They're going after her now. Remember, you can't go after judges if you're Donald Trump. Judge Eileen Cannon failed to disclose a right-wing junket. Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, not exactly. And this time they've been reported. Not exactly, but this goes on to tell about where she went. It was a memorial for Scalia when he dies, and they say that the organizers billed it as an excellent opportunity to connect with judicial colleagues. 2006 rule intended to shine a light on judges' attendance at paid seminars that could pose conflicts of interest or influence decisions, require them to file disclosure forms for such trip within 30 days, and make them public on the court's website. Okay. And I'll scroll down so we can see the part where they admit this. She did report it. She just didn't upload it to their website. So that thing, she failed to report it. No, she didn't. No, that's not true. In response to questions from ProPublica, the clerk of the Southern District of Florida wrote in an email that Cannon had filed the Sage Lodge trip with the Federal Judiciary Administration's office, but inadvertently not taken the second step of posting them on the court's website. She explained that judges often do not realize they must input the information twice. So she reported it, Jack, but she didn't do the second step where she has to report it a full second time online.
That's
And
so dumb.
She was hiding it, you guys. Do you see how dirty she is? You cannot hate our press enough. You just can't.
No.
The woman running to replace our senator, who is it, Stabenow, the stepping down. Her name is Elisa Slotkin. She's a representative in the House right now. She's got a family farm, Jack, that she gets property tax free because it's a farm. The only problem is there's no agriculture going on this farm. They don't even have like a small garden out front.
So what are they doing out there? Nothing?
Nothing. It's just her house.
Well, why is she getting?
Aha, good question. The Michigan law, is it her great-grandparents or grandparents? I think it's her grandparents owned the farm originally. And by 1980, they were not doing any farming on it anymore. But they had already qualified for the property tax exemption. And you have to request to be taken off of that. I'm going to say that again. You have to request to be taken off of the thing so that you have to pay your property tax.
I'm sure people are just running to the office to report that.
Yeah. But don't worry, guys. Don't worry. It's totally nothing to worry about. She grew an asparagus once or something. These people are so fucking dirty, man. Even out of principle, you're a Democrat and you're pro taxes. They've been getting away with paying no property tax since 1980. Yes. It's unclear when all of the switches go on, but nobody since 1980 should have been getting that property tax exemption, and they have been. 44 years. Not paying tax. I can't wait till she tells me about how Trump doesn't pay his taxes or rich people don't pay their taxes.
Yeah, well, they inevitably do.
That's going to be the next senator from Michigan. Because for some reason, when it comes to the Senate, we're like, only Democrats. We don't fuck our own state enough. We got to try to fuck up the country too. Okay, we already did that one. I want to get to the video. No. Jack, did you see the guy that the FBI came to talk to the other day?
Yes.
Now, we had talked about him when we discussed the tweet with the asshole who said anybody who kills Kamala will be a hero.
Yeah.
That's the guy. Because of that, the FBI came to his door.
Come and knock on our door.
And the following happens. We're going to watch this video because I had quite the arguments over this stupid fucking thing.
Hey, how can I help you?
For those of you wondering, the gentlemen you see walking there are undercover FBI agents.
Who are you?
Or I don't know, undercover, plain clothes, I should say. Plain clothes FBI agents.
I'm Agent O'Donnell with the FBI.
Can you give your full name, please?
I'm Agent O'Donnell with the FBI.
Is that sufficient to identify as the only one O'Donnell affiliated with the FBI?
In New Hampshire, yes.
Could you please state your full name, sir?
Could you please stop recording?
No. First Amendment right.
Okay.
What's your name, sir?
Could you stop recording, please?
Absolutely not. You can show me your name and identification, or I'm going to go back inside my house.
Okay. I don't really want to broadcast my.
Oh, this is going out right after you guys walk away.
So that's why I'm not going to.
So you can show me your name or ID. You can walk away.
Couple of things. It is 100% legal to record these guys in the process of their duties. That has been supported by the Supreme Court. There's no question about that.
Yeah, you could film civil servants in the course of their duties, including the cops and pretty much any civil servant. And these guys qualify. So they're law enforcement. They are on the job. They're allegedly FBI agents anyway.
There are certain states that specifically require by law any law enforcement to show their ID.
Yeah, and federal agents are supposed to show you their credentials.
Yes, it's a rule for these guys. It's not put into law directly,
but it's policy.
Yes, it's their policy. There are cases. There's a law in the books right now, passed after the summer of 2020, that says if you are a member of law enforcement, state, local, fed, doesn't matter, and you are at what they call it, civil disobedience, not only do you have to wear something that identifies what agency you work for, but your name has to be clearly visible. But not if they're showing up at your house randomly, Jack.
Yeah, apparently. So he has every right to record them and to request credentials.
Yep.
You know, those badges, this guy's going to point to his badge in a second, the guy on the right.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy those badges for like $100 off dozens of websites.
They sell them on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's not even like you got to go underground for them. Anyway.
Which one?
I'm not going to talk to people who claim to be federal agents unless they can show me identification.
Which, by the way, is the right answer.
Yeah. Yeah, he shouldn't have been talking to him this long. As soon as they said they were FBI, he should have been like, yeah, I don't want to talk to you. Because this is a casual conversation. Anything he says can be used against him.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not required to talk to them.
Nope.
You're allowed to have your attorney present to talk to any law enforcement.
Okay, well, you see our badges?
I need to see. Is your full name on that badge?
No.
I'd like to see something with your full name, or I'm not going to talk to you.
I prefer you not to broadcast.
This will be going online as soon as you walk away.
Well, all I want to do is talk to you about a post that was made, and if you happen to be the one that made the post.
I want to talk to you about you guys coming here. Say you make a salary of, I don't know what, low 100K. You guys making six figures? Factor in 50% expenses, overhead, maybe 100% expenses. Talking about burning a couple $100 an hour just here, let alone all the time you guys are spending to investigate something that you know is not against the law, right? Like,
and he is right about that. We read the post, and I think I quoted it verbatim a minute ago where he said, "Whoever kills Kamala Harris will be a hero." It's something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing, but barely if I am. And as disgusting and shitty as it is, that's not illegal to say.
Yeah, it's not a call for action. It's just a stupid thing to say.
Yep.
You're familiar with. So then why would you come?
We're not saying that it's illegal. Then why the fuck are you there?
Intimidation.
It's exactly what it is.
Yeah, this is retaliatory.
Look, the guy behind the camera is clearly a douchebag.
Yeah.
And I'm not standing up for him. I'm standing up for the rights that he's talking about and not having secret police, because that's what you're talking about when police don't have to identify themselves.
Yeah, I mean, look at these guys. They could be anybody.
Yeah.
They're just two random guys with guns on their hips and badges you can order anywhere.
Yeah, I'm sure you could run into these two guys in a field by a rest stop. They could be anyone.
Yeah, well, I imagine that's where they were going to take him in that sketchy looking SUV they're driving.
You wanted to make sure that there weren't any.
No, you're coming because you're
wanted to make sure there weren't any other threats. One, there wasn't a threat. And two, you do not need to meet him in person to ascertain that. You would do that on a computer, asshole.
Yeah, no, this is all about intimidation, an attempt to chill free speech, and maybe take this guy somewhere and rough him up.
How the fuck are you going to ascertain if he's made any other threats by talking to him instead of, going to his social media profile where he posted that shit?
Well, look at the posture of the guy on the left. He's got his arms crossed, trying to look tough. He's trying to intimidate him. This is an intimidation. They're like, we know where you live. We're going to come to your house and we're going to have a little chat, whatever that means.
Yep. And for the record, I don't know how well you guys can see it in the video there, but Mr. FBI guy, you can't be intimidating in a pink and powder blue checkered shirt.
Well, he's probably good cop, and the other guy's probably bad cop.
You look like an extra from whatever the porn version of Gay Hee Haw was.
Nice.
You're part of a regime that does this kind of thing.
Would that be hee haw?
Sorry. Hee-haw.
Laws aren't being broken. And that's an embarrassment, man. Didn't you guys read the Constitution? Do you not believe in America? Like, how do you do your jobs and go home?
We appreciate it.
You're walking away. Because nothing we did is against the law. And you guys are fuckheads that try to act like bullies. And I hope you go home and are embarrassed. You can't even say your name on camera because you know that what you're doing is embarrassing. You know Americans that believe in the Constitution think you're laughable. And you go home and you think about what you did today. Go home and think about it, you coward.
All right.
Drive away.
This is the problem I have with auditors. When they do stuff like this, adding their commentary on here, they're getting themselves put on a list. They're being called sovereign citizens. And they're getting labeled and putting, they're creating evidence against themselves. And it's counterproductive. If you just said, I'm not talking to you, leave me alone, get off my property, that's all you had to say. And then just walk away. Don't try and give them anything to work with.
Can I just point out the one wearing the gay shirt is riding bitch?
Mm-hmm.
Frosted, thank you. The FBI was more useful in Die Hard than real life. That's true.
Yeah.
I just want to point out, for real though, these guys are supposedly investigating a threat to the sitting vice president of the United States, and they walked away because they didn't want to show their badges.
Yep. They didn't want to show credentials, so they're like, "Yeah, you didn't take my little tin badge. Good enough." I don't know. Were they going to abduct this guy? Like, what are they so afraid of?
And for the record, I went and looked, Jack, because of something else, and I was over on the FBI's Twitter profile. They list their agents that are involved in shit by name all the fucking time.
Yep. You see this with a lot of police too, where when they say, "What's your name and badge number?" They'll just point to their shirt and say, "Right here."
Yeah.
Instead of just saying your name. Stop being an asshole. Just say your fucking name. Nobody fucking cares. It looks like you're hiding something if you don't. And that's what it looks like here is they're probably are embarrassed to be having to do this, but it looks like they're up to no good.
They shouldn't have been there in the first place because there are children being raped right now while you're wasting your time.
Yeah, they could be actually doing
But
their jobs.
you're supposedly there because of a credible threat to the sitting vice president, and you left rather than give your fucking name?
Yep,
Make that make sense.
you can't. 'Cause
Oh
it's
no.
dumb.
I argued with a lot of people on Twitter over this one. You see, they would be doxxed. They'd be doxxed online.
Oh, okay. It's probably not that hard to find anybody anyway.
They have their faces clearly on there. I bet you I'm not going to, but if I wanted to, I could find them pretty fucking quickly.
Yeah, anybody with reverse image search could probably find these assholes.
Which means everybody with Google, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Oh, real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. If they don't identify themselves and there's no proof they are FBI, then you can assume they aren't law enforcement officers. I'd call the cops on people impersonating law enforcement. Yeah, I've seen an ATF agent get tased because he wouldn't identify himself to the police when they showed up.
And then he sued the police.
Yeah, and he lost, as I recall.
Yeah, he should have just identified himself.
Yeah, but that's the arrogance of the feds. I don't have to do that. I don't have to tell you who I am, peasant.
I don't know if you guys heard about this little event called Ruby Ridge, but federal agents went on Randy Weaver's land without announcing themselves,
Without a warrant, and shot and killed his dog and 13-year-old son. There's a lot of bad shit that can. There are people who have impersonated police officers who have raped and murdered and gotten away with it for a long time because that's how they do it. Mm-hmm.
Stubbert, thank you. They were slimy when arresting my dad. He deserved arrested, to be fair, but I saw no warrant. Opened the door to handguns, dragged and cuffed before the Miranda, and tried to give me leading questions. Jesus.
Wow.
Flint says, and his wife. Well, the reason I didn't bring up Vicky is because by then they knew it was the feds.
Yeah.
The shooting of Samuel Weaver probably doesn't happen, and the shooting of the agent at the same time, if they had just gone up and announced themselves properly.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There's easy ways to do it, and then there's stupid ways.
Yep.
And sometimes the easy way is the best way.
Yeah, nothing like a dead kid to really get your blood pumping.
Yeah, I guess.
I saw so many people defending this. And one of them blocked me when I asked her, would you feel the same way if this was a black guy behind the camera? Don't you guys remember in 2020? Like, cops should have to totally literally, our Congress passed a bill about that as long as it's at a civil disobedience that the cops have to have their fucking name visible on their uniform. But the bald gay guy and his little twink friend, oh, we can't do that because I'd get totally doxxed on the internet. How many different videos did you and I see, Jack, where because of state laws, they're like, oh, you have to give me your name. So the officer on camera with their face there had to tell them their name.
Yeah. Oh, tons.
And that was with Antifa, a fucking terrorist group.
So that makes me wonder if these guys are actually FBI or if there's something else or what they were going to do, because they said if you shut the camera off, anytime a government official tells you to shut your camera off, that means they're going to do something that they're ashamed of or it's criminal.
Snub, thank you. On Ruby, I'm just waiting for, but Weaver associated with white nationalists to defend the feds on Twitter. Oddly enough, it doesn't seem like many people even got the reference. Because they didn't care. It doesn't matter because he said something about Kamala, so fuck him and all of his rights.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dark Resurrect. I cannot recommend this enough. Watch Wendigoon's video on Ruby Ridge and Dankula's video on Waco. I haven't seen Dankula's video on Waco, and it's just I have trouble understanding Dankula. I love him. I think the guy's funny as shit. But I did watch Wendigoon's video on it, which I would highly recommend.
Yeah.
But yeah, check him out. Absolutely. I just watched Wendigoon's Ruby Ridge one again maybe a week ago, Jack.
I've been going down the rabbit hole of this guy. Hold on, let me pull up his name. Interesting things from around the world.
Oh,
Have you
okay.
ever watched it? He covers like these weird lolcows. Like weird. I'll send you a link. But thank you, Frosted Glass. Little known fact: federal agents operate on the same rules as Mr. Mixelplick. So if they say their name, they risk being defeated. Well, you don't want to go back to the fifth dimension. It seems rather boring.
Well, we've seen several FBI videos, and the bald guy in this looks very familiar to me.
He's
But-
probably been in some of these before.
But where they go up and the people record, and they always give their name and show their ID. But suddenly now it's become a problem, and how dare you ever think that, hey, basically what these people who are defending this are saying, look, it was totally justified for these guys to ignore a credible threat to the sitting vice president because people might have said mean things about him online.
Yeah, get over it. Look, if we want to have any credible law enforcement, they have to be bound by realistic, reasonable rules that keeps them from abusing their power.
Yeah.
We're giving these people incredible amounts of power to literally take lives.
Yep.
We need to make sure they're not psychopaths, weirdos, or perverts, or God knows what else, or just people that shouldn't be in that job. We've all met them. You know, anybody that's been pulled over by some fucking dickhead cop who probably shouldn't have a badge and has his hand on his gun a little too long for
Mhm.
nothing. Come on, that's the type of shit you need to filter out. So these guys look shady as fuck to me. Why else would they be unwilling to show their proper credentials?
Because you said it right at the beginning. They were just there to bully this guy.
Yeah, that's an intimidation tactic, and it didn't work.
And you even see very early on, the guy goes to grab his ID, and they're like, no, not on camera, not on camera. But one, you already said your last name. So I have your last name and your bald head, but yeah, if you show me your FBI, if I get your first name, then you're really gonna what? I'll call you a twat on the internet.
Oh no, that's
Michelle,
probably
thank
a
you.
crime now. Oh, sorry.
Michelle, thank you so much. Or even worse, there could be some nut job hiding in the bushes behind the fifth hole while they're here intimidating this guy. True.
Yeah.
Although I would argue the children that are being raped while these guys are doing this, because remember, that's the FBI's job, is to stop that shit, is worse.
Yeah.
I wanted to get, oh shit, I forgot what it was.
Oh, thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation.
Ah.
To me, the rules and regulations on law enforcement are important for both civilians and law enforcement safety. Absolutely. Look, body cams have cleared cops more often than they've incriminated them because the body cam catches what you actually are doing, and it has cleared a lot of really good cops from catching bad accusations of wrongdoing because people will lie. There's scumbags everywhere, and that's why it's important to record for everyone's safety. Keeps people honest.
Yeah, and that is a good thing. Oh shit, did you see our first gender neutral submarine is going into service?
Oh my god, I saw that the other day. It's so fucking stupid.
The USS New Jersey is setting sail, and I loved this, and we're going to highlight it. Robert Gauscher, commander of the Submarine Forces Atlantic, told NorthJersey.com that's part of a former sentence. Access to the top bunks and overhead valves were designed with the height, reach, and strength of women in mind.
So they're small with minimal reach, and there's a lot of ladders because women are weak.
This gender neutral thing, this is the first time a submarine has been built specifically for a multi-sex crew.
What?
Previously, the submarines that have had women on them, they had to retrofit them. They had to make a tampon holding tank.
Oh, they had to put a sit-down toilet in them?
Yeah. And so what they did is I cannot stress to you how dangerous this is to have the valves in a submarine set to the strength of women.
Yeah, I would think water pressure being a real thing. You might want to not compromise certain safety standards.
Um,
Yes, they are
that's
dainty, faithless.
you make the top bunks a little lower, fine. You lower the valves, fine. But they still need to have the same torque needed to close them off as before.
Eagle said everybody needs to sit down toilet. No, you get a trough. You can poop in it and pee in it.
And by the way, this is a horrific idea. Locking men and women together underwater in a tube for 6 months at a time is a bad fucking idea.
Submarine babies gonna be a real thing.
I- just women on ships in general. In the military, you have your ships and your boats. This is a boat. Every time they put women out to sea, they come back pregnant.
Yeah, that's why women were always considered bad luck on boats because
You,
they plop babies out.
you're putting women out to sea for weeks at a time, and it's not that they're women, it's that you have men and women together, and men and women naturally are going to hook up. So maybe, and I'm just throwing this out there, don't do that. Or how about this? All female ship.
Oh God, why?
Imagine watching the video of it driving. It would be amazing. It'd be backing
the
into
Chinese
shit.
one would go like 5 miles an hour.
Women really want to be in the Navy, give them their own fucking boats.
Oh dear God.
Dangerous, thank you. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will land me in federal prison. Huh. That poem has changed a bit since I was a kid.
Right?
By the way, tampons can be in men's bathroom, you horrible bigots. Yes, they can be, but they didn't have a good way to store them before. Remember, ladies, you shouldn't be flushing your tampons. Frosted Glass, thank you. Sharks will be following the sub once a month. Idea. I don't know why we have to keep reminding people that men and women are different and they will fuck. Okay?
No, they're not different, monkey. They're interchangeable.
They crashed their first fighter jet. I mean, it wasn't their first. It was one of their first, and that was a fucking horrific thing. They got that woman killed. All of her eval said, "Do not let this bitch pilot an F-14." And they're like, "Yeah, but we need the propaganda win." And then she went right off the end of the boat. Whoopsie.
Yep.
Michelle, thank you. True, 100%. Wrong choice of words on my part. Fair enough. Imagine all those women singing. Oh man, I wouldn't want to be locked for months at a time with dudes. I sure as fuck. Okay, if I was, I'd want a woman there, but I'd want a whole separate compartment where I could, hide. Be like, okay, I want to see you for sexy time, and then not again. Anyway, what else? There was another big story I wanted to talk about, and I don't remember what it was. It's not that dude. It's not this guy. Nope.
Was it the Mr. Beast story?
Oh God. No, but there's two Mr. Beast stories. There's the one you sent me, which Mr. Beast is being sued, him and what is it? Amazon, who have the Mr. Beast Squid Games.
The Beast Games.
The Beast Games. I'm sorry. Which has been a disaster so far for him. I don't know who this show's even made for.
I don't know, but they spent like $100 million on it.
I don't know how many times legacy media is going to have to get the memo that YouTubers don't generally translate well to your platform.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I don't think they quite understand the audiences for these
Yeah.
things, the nuance.
But in the suit, they're claiming that they weren't paid proper wages. They weren't given meal breaks. Something you got to pay attention to, Jimmy. There are laws, and
Whatever.
that there was sexual harassment,
Yeah.
which Mr. Beast, so duh.
Yeah, right.
The only part missing from that story is of minors.
Well, let's not get carried away. We don't know all the facts of this case yet.
That's fair enough. Fair enough. But also in Mr. Beast news, Mr. Beast, KSI, and Logan Paul have come out with a Lunchable, and some people have been like, "What?" So Mr. Beast made a long post explaining how great his Lunchable that includes a chocolate bar and an energy drink is for your kids compared to a regular Lunchable.
I don't know how that's an improvement. I mean, the kids are going to like it because they get the energy drink and chocolate, but that doesn't seem nutritious in any respect.
I am not kidding. His argument is twofold. One, their turkey has less, I think, sugar. Like, okay. And two, the other people use cheese, what is it? Cheese product instead of cheese. So they use American cheese.
Yeah.
Okay. Lots of kids like American cheese.
Yeah, but didn't they change, didn't he have a candy bar or something that they had to change the ingredients on? Because they were trying to make it sound healthier.
The little candy bar that he puts in there is his own Feastables candy bar brand.
That sounds gross.
Yeah. It originally was supposed to be 4 ingredients, and it's so much better for you, and they've slowly had to add more ingredients because it was shit. Turns out people don't like chewing on chocolate flavored chalk. But yeah, this is a guy who refused to come out and address the allegations that he employed a pedophile, which he absolutely did, and that his best friend was a pedophile that he kept on until he let that guy quit. Won't say a word about that. But how dare you suggest that the small meal that contains an energy drink might be bad for kids? You put an energy drink in a Lunchable, dickhead. And while I do approve you giving kids an energy boost so they can run away from your employees, it's not healthy for them. Dangerous, thank you. That would be an absolute disaster. Men typically respond in the same volume of voice. Sir, yes, sir. Women will likely just break down in tears and ask, why are you yelling at me? It's okay for women to cry in the military as long as they man up afterwards. We learned that in An Officer and a Gentleman. I'm just saying.
Oh.
Walk around, your bitches.
Now, how are they making this stuff? Do they have their own production facility, or?
They're probably letting the Chinese do it. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, because they're competing with market space for people that are well established.
Yes.
So that seems like that's a kind of a risk for most of the grocery stores to take. So getting this on a major shelving is going to be kind of difficult.
Well, he had a problem with the launch of his candy bar because they got it into stores, but people weren't stocking them. So he had to go stock them himself.
What?
Yeah, because little kids are buying this shit because it's Mr. Beast. But there's a difference between buying your kid a candy bar at the register and buying them a Lunchable with a fucking energy drink in it. It includes, this is where KSI and Logan Paul come in. Their little energy drink Prime is included in the Lunchable. Sorry, it's Lunchly is what it's called. But in their little Lunchly meal, yeah, that's
a stupid name. Did they workshop any of this? This seems like this is how people go bankrupt. You're going to lose money on this.
He is just real. Why are my mentions so blown up?
I don't know. What'd you do?
Who the fuck did I piss off this time?
You piss off a lot of people. That's
I really do.
difficult to answer question.
Yeah, but to see it blown up like that is unusual. What was I saying? I think Mr. Beast at this point is just desperate to change the narrative, from hiring pedophiles for his kiddie show.
Yeah, so he's selling knockoff Lunchables, and he's hoping that will distract.
Yes.
That's fucking retarded.
Oh, I agree 100%, but I think that's the strategy.
That's a terrible strategy, and he should fire his publicist if that idiot came up with this, because, dear Lord, what a terrible plan. And what a waste of money. I think they got this idea from Vitamin Water. 50 Cent invested in that real early on. One of the Vitamin Water things. I forget which one. And it ended up getting bought by Coca-Cola for like billions of dollars.
Oh,
this is something you invest in and not actually partake in.
But you keep having these internet celebrities do this. I mean, if you go to a drugstore, there's often even if there's not food sold there, they'll have a cooler. And most of the ones I've been to, they're in the back by the pharmacy, and it'll have several different energy drinks. And you'll be like, what the fuck is that? They're different ones that are promoted by influencers. I fucking hate that word. And yeah, there's several people that have their own, especially they really like energy drinks.
Yeah, I mean, it's branding, but you license your name out. You don't actually do the production.
Oh, no. These guys, they get hands-on.
No, that's stupid. That
I
is
agree.
stupid, because you have to manage the quality control then. If there's an outbreak of like listeria with these stupid lunchy things, they're going to get their asses sued off.
Yeah. But they're not thinking about that right now. They're thinking about how they can exploit their 12-year-old audience. And Mr. Beast has made a killing doing that. His little feastable candy bar, at least as far as I can see, is sold pretty well. But again, it's in a pink. Keister, it's funny you bring that as his 2 words, pink sauce. I just watched was it Sunny V's video on that? Do you know what pink sauce is?
Not offhand, no.
This TikTok influencer who calls herself Chef, it's either Chef P or Chef Pie. I saw people pronouncing it different ways. First of all, she's not a chef. She's not a trained chef. She is and this is her wording, private chef for a friend of hers.
Your roommate, you cook for your roommate. Good job.
Apparently one of her friends was like, hey, you want to cook for these people? So she's a maid, basically.
Yeah, you're hired help for your friend.
But she came up with this pink sauce that is supposed to be like ranch, but more extreme. And its selling point is that it's pink, Jack. Except for it wasn't really pink all the time. And she wouldn't tell people what made it pink. Turns out it's dragon fruit.
Well, you need to tell people in case they're allergic.
Well, no, it's really funny, and I'm probably gonna fuck parts of this up, but like people are telling her, hey, you have to tell us what's in it. You got to get this approved by the FDA. And she actually says this, I don't have to get the FDA involved here because it's not pharmaceutical.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The bitch is a retard. And then she made a video pretending that the FDA showed up at her house.
Yes, because that's how that works. They just showed up at your house like, our SWAT team's here.
When people called her out on it, she finally admits that she made that whole thing up.
No.
Yeah. And then she finally gets a label for her little bottle. And on it, this bottle that barely weighs anything. It's this, I think it's maybe 20 ounces or something like that. It's looks like a square mustard bottle, honestly. Excuse me, so sorry. A squared off mustard bottle. Anyway, on it, it said it came with 444 servings of a teaspoon each, which would have to weigh something. I think it's like 12 pounds. Somebody did the math on it. The ingredients, the first ones that she sent out exploded in transit.
Wow.
Yeah. What was some of the other shit with this girl? It's just a clusterfuck. She sells it, the brand itself, to this other internet food thing who gets it put in Walmarts, Jack.
Oh.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's ugly as shit and people don't like it. So it almost immediately goes onto the clearance rack for like 50 cents a bottle.
Well, that's on them. They bought it.
And she comes out and whines that they didn't give her the money she owed because this is $1 billion idea. No, her pink sauce dipping sauces is $1 billion idea.
Then why'd she sign the paperwork selling it?
Well, that's a great question, but they came out with a statement breaking down how much they paid her, including one time when she was only owed $666 or something like that. Maybe it was $665. They gave her $10,000 because she was bitching that her kids needed fed. All told, she makes like 130 grand from this, and she's broke as fuck.
What are these people doing with their money? Why are they all fucking dumb? Making lunchy things and pink sauce and all this other retarded crap. They make a ton of money off of it, and then where's the money going? Why
Don't
are
get
they
ahead of me,
blowing
Tripper.
money like they're drunken sailors?
Well, that's exactly what she did, and she's got these action shots of her like on a yacht eating her stupid fucking sauce.
Ugh.
Well, she refuses to work with them anymore, so the product just dies, and she makes a new pink sauce and adds a blue sauce.
Oh, because why not?
Yes, the blue sauce is a little bit different. Instead of the dragon fruit, it has dried blueberry powder in it.
This sounds gross, dude.
There's a video. What's his name? Something Duck in August is in the name. I forget. He tried these out because instead of it being a bottle of sauce, Jack, it's now a packet that you put in other stuff.
Of course it is.
Like Hidden Valley, right? Except Hidden Valley, you just buy some sour cream and a packet of Hidden Valley and mix them up. No. You need to buy mayonnaise, sour cream. I'm gonna miss an ingredient. Shit, sweet chili sauce, and something else. I forget what the other one is.
What?
Yeah, and you mix that all together. Milk. Milk is the other ingredient. Fuck.
This sounds more and more disgusting as you go, but why do I need to buy all this extra shit?
The guy that I was talking about, and again, I'm sorry I forgot his name. All told, because he bought everything. He said it's stuff he doesn't normally eat. He doesn't eat sour cream. What the fuck's wrong with you, dude? You're white. He bought 4 of the packets, which are $20 each, and only a single serving.
What?
Yeah. And now, in fairness, the single serving is probably a medium-sized cereal bowl amount.
Yeah, but
actually,
if you look at that packet, you see a single serving. I don't know.
It's like a cup of milk, a cup of mayonnaise, half a cup of sour cream, and a third cup of the sweet chili sauce. So whatever that comes up to is your total amount.
I believe that's called vomit.
Yeah, it's funny. The guy actually says this one tastes like vomit.
Yeah, you're describing vomit. Like if you threw a little bit of food coloring in, you could probably make it look like hummus. But this sounds disgusting, dude.
Well, it might shock you to know that she made a video the other day saying not a single thing of pink sauce sold last month. And basically the entire company is now shut down, and it's just a huge thing to laugh at on the internet. She was a fucking disaster. You really should look her up. It's funny as fuck. Look up pink sauce. It's great.
Look, if you guys want to buy something off the internet, buy Satsu's stuff for chicken, because I've heard really good things about that.
Indeed, indeed. And Satsu went through all the right steps. I mean, he has to go to a special kitchen to put it all together.
Yeah.
He went
he's like
through
a
and did
chef.
it. Yeah, this bitch just like was throwing shit together in her kitchen. And there was a video of her making her stuff, and she's like, no, there's no mayonnaise in this. But for some reason, she has a container that clearly has something like mayonnaise that's been used. And I saw this chef chick who made a video debunking the lies about pink sauce. And I went and watched it. And she's like, no, she doesn't have to have mayonnaise in here. And I couldn't help myself. I left a comment like, funny that the powdered version of it requires mayonnaise. Just saying. She totally didn't use that shit though. On her list of ingredients, Jack, she misspelled vinegar, they think. But with the way she misspelled it, she could have meant ginger instead. So nobody's sure which way she actually fucked that one up. Oh, it's amazing. You really should check it out. It's a great way to spend half an hour watching a video on it.
Wow.
Yeah, she's been a lolcow with that shit a lot. It's been going on for like 3 years, but it's finally come to a head. Nobody bought her crappy shit anymore. I got bills to pay. Maybe get a job, bitch. What is that chef job not working out for you? The lady in the debunking video, she said she addresses that she's not really a chef, and she's like, well, actually, there's not really an accreditation for chefs. So, I mean, I'm like, that's fair. It is. I mean, if you want to tell me the guy flipping burgers at McDonald's is a chef, I mean, technically he's cooking food.
I'm looking at this lady right now, and
Yeah.
She looks like such trash. But even Inside Edition covered this.
Did they really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the third result.
I did not know that. Let's see. Pink. I'll find the video I watched and toss
I
it
just
out
typed in pink sauce, and Inside Edition is the third one. I'm like, this blonde bitch looks familiar. Oh, that's a chick from Inside Edition.
Yeah, here's Sonny's video on it. If you guys want a good rundown of the end, it's not all inclusive. There's so much more to this crazy bitch. She actually went on TV and argued with one of the people that had been, calling her out, basically. And she's like, oh, it's very hurtful for you to say those things about me like that. And the host was on her side. I think she fucked this up. And this is the problem that a lot of people get into when they want to do food related stuff. Food related stuff, just stay away from it. There's so many rules and regulations, and the chance of you being the next Hidden Valley or slim to fucking none. You are not I don't care how good your family tells you your barbecue sauce is. It ain't Sweet Baby Ray's, man.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. Or Stubbs.
Yeah. There's a reason those ones are established brands. And unless you're going to just wow everybody, just keep making that for your family and work at Walmart or something.
Yeah, make it for your friends and family. Don't your odds are, unless you get discovered and you win some bunch of contests and shit, then you're just gonna end up selling the formula.
Keister, that's fair. She said, argued she ganged up on that girl with the host and browbeat her on live TV. That's fair. That's a fair retelling of that. Yeah, she's a fucking disaster. Here, we'll just bring her face up on screen. This is from her video where she's telling you that she did not sell a single pink sauce.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't want to buy food products from somebody that films their video in their bedroom.
Right?
That just doesn't tell me quality control is really doing their job.
The pink sauce itself started out with a big problem because every time she put it on camera, it was a different pink. And people were like, why does it keep changing color? By the time it hit Walmart shelves, it was more beige than pink.
Ugh.
Yeah. Because it turns out putting dragon fruit and stuff isn't a really good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, but anyway, yeah, I didn't even mean to get off on the pink girl stuff. That shit just amused me to no end. That I watched all of that the other day when I was feeling miserable, and it made me happy. So,
Speaking of making you happy, did you want to watch Peter Ducey?
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's that first link in the side chat.
And we'll probably wrap up after there. I should probably eat, Jack.
You probably should.
I should not eat Jack. I should probably eat, Jack.
Yes,
just for the record.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, but it's our audience, so
Yes, I am opposed to being eaten. I'm just throwing that out there now.
why is this bitch dressed like the Joker?
Said so, Bob, dude. What do you want?
Seriously, isn't this one of the outfits that the Phoenix brother that people don't like was in?
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Joaquin, that's his name. Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being Joaquin and your brother was River?
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
You got a hair lip and he's a male model.
It's like Steve Buscemi. You know?
Yeah. That shit had to be rough growing up.
Clint Howard.
Yeah. You know, at least in Clint's case, his brother's ugly as fuck too, just not as ugly as fuck.
Yeah, Clint's a better actor.
I don't know. I don't know how much I've seen Ron in besides Happy Days. I did once watch American Graffiti, but I mean, that was a long time ago, and it's Ron fucking Howard. Anyway, Joker Bob here's. All right, let's see. I have not seen this, and I did not read the little caption, Jack. So she's going on Robert De Niro's show to shoot him. Okay, I'm not the only one who sees it, though, right?
No,
Okay.
I'm right there with you.
All right, just making sure it's not me, because occasionally it is.
2 days since somebody allegedly tried to kill Donald Trump again. And you're here at the podium in the White House briefing room calling him a threat.
President Biden has been clear-eyed about the threat that the former president represents to our democracy.
Wow.
Yeah, she said that just moments before Ducey is asking this.
Never mind.
How many more assassination attempts on Donald Trump until the president and the vice president and you pick a different word to describe Trump other than threat?
That bitch really just sigh?
Yeah. Oh, wait till you hear her response.
Peter, if anything from this administration, I actually completely disagree with the premise of your question.
What part?
Because he clearly is a threat, I guess.
Well, he didn't even say he wasn't a threat. He said, how long till you stop using that word?
Yeah, because it was just 2 days before that somebody was sneaking onto the golf course with an AK-47. What the fuck, lady? But, she's not done yet.
I hear you, but just this part. All he said was Trump was almost assassinated again. When are you guys going to stop calling him a threat? I disagree with your premise. The premise of what you just fucking said? You can even go, hey, our use of the word threat doesn't actually encourage people to cause any damage. We're talking about a threat to democracy itself and not that he needs to be taken out, which if you care that much about democracy, I don't know why you wouldn't. But his question isn't challenging any deep-held belief. It's just, why are you using that word?
Mm-hmm.
And I disagree with the premise of us using that word.
Oh, yeah,
fuck, I hate this woman.
Oh, you're going to hate her a lot more in a minute.
All right.
The question that you're asking, It is also incredibly dangerous.
See, I told you. That's dangerous for you to ask when we're going to stop saying he's a threat, because he's an existential threat to democracy.
You calling him a threat isn't dangerous. Somebody pointing it out is. That is. I take it back, Jack. I don't want to watch this. Okay.
In the way that you're asking it, because American people are watching. And to say that from an administration who has consistently condemned political violence.
You called it
because I mean, I keep hearing that Trump's a threat to civilization and democracy. I don't remember them really condemning much.
No, the only time they do is when it's forced on them, because they know they can't go, yeah, Trump was shot.
Yeah, have they condemned it today?
Right. She is so up her own ass here. I am so offended that you would suggest that we shouldn't say threat. She called it dangerous, dude. I'm glad I didn't see this earlier. I would have punched something.
From an administration where the president called the former president.
Which, by the way, was funny that Biden called Trump and Trump did not take his call at first. Oh.
Did you see that clip of Biden putting on a MAGA hat?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
That was funny.
It literally came. So if you guys didn't see that clip, Biden and Trump go to the same event, because the one woman in the clip is in a clip with Trump just moments later. And Biden says something to the effect of that, hey, why don't you put on this Biden hat, to a Trump supporter? And the Trump supporter said, I will if you put this one on. And it was literally the day after the debate where Trump told Kamala that Biden doesn't like her. And the optics of that are just mwah.
From an administration where the president called the former president and was grateful that he was okay. From an administration who has called out January 6th, called out the attack of Paul Pelosi, called out and said we need to lower the temperature.
But you're still using the word threat.
Yeah, you're still saying he's dangerous to the country. So you're saying you called all these other things out, but you haven't changed your tune at all.
After the Butler incident, and now
the Butler incident, it was just a little thing that happened. Some stuff happened to some people. Jesus Christ. The Butler incident, the Butler assassination attempt is what you meant there, sweetie.
Yeah.
For you to make that kind of comment in your question, because your question involved a comment and a statement.
Oh no. His comment was that Trump was the victim of another assassination attempt. What do you object to about that, Corinne? Your own Justice Department said it.
And it is that is also incredibly dangerous.
2 days.
Jesus Christ, that was horrible.
Yeah, it kind of makes it look like they're not going to stop saying awful things, but you have to.
Yeah.
You have to stop saying dangerous things about Kamala. But, Trump's a threat. What?
I am glad you brought that up. It reminded me of the other thing I want to watch before we leave. But anyway, yeah. She actually called the question dangerous.
Yep.
Look, guys, this is what I tell you about all the time with controlling language. You control language, you control everything. And in this case, Peter's just going, hey, your rhetoric, you going to tone that down? And she's like, it's dangerous that you suggest we do that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, because, a fascist is going to take over if you do. That's the implication there. Like, fuck you, bitch. I don't know. It just pissed me off because the condescending tone that Peter did something wrong by simply questioning her. How dare you?
And again, there is an answer there. Look, I don't think in a normal world calling Trump a threat is an issue. I mean, it's political rhetoric. But when you're calling him things like an existential, I think it was Brian Krasenstein. I got to stop arguing with those two idiots.
Yeah, they're dumb.
He tried comparing Trump calling the press the enemy of the people to the existential threat comment from, what was it, Kamala? Do y'all understand what an existential threat is? It's not just a fun word to say. You're talking about the end of humanity. You're calling this guy the guy who's going to end life, human life on this planet, but you're not telling people to take him out. Why would you? What I said? Dangerous, thank you. Trump is just like the guy who killed 6 million people, but it's bad when you point out us saying stuff like that. Also, Kamala raised bail money for violent protesters, called out violence. In Biden's defense, Biden has been much more political savvy than his Democrat counterparts on stuff like this. Although I will point out, what was it, a week before Trump gets shot, he says we need to put a bullseye on Trump.
Yeah.
Maybe it was 2 weeks before. And he was saying that in a speech where he's like, now it's time to target Trump, when it was just him and Trump at that time and had been for quite a while. But no, now was the time. Okay, the final story I wanted to talk about. I haven't seen this video. I wonder if I can even watch. Nah, we'll watch the other one. California, leading the way in being communist shitbags, has just passed 3 different laws basically banning memes.
Yeah, Newsom's a tard, man.
They're very upset about a fake video, a clearly fake video, unless you're a retard, from Kamala Harris, where she, in it, she says something to the effect of, I'm running since Joe has got dementia. It's very insulting towards Joe and herself, calls herself a DEI hire. And they were so upset about this, they passed a law that makes it illegal 60 days before an election and 30 days after to spread any misinformation through a meme using
you can't suspend the First Amendment like that.
There's no way it gets upheld on appeal. They're garbage, and once again, it's just to show you guys control the language, you control everything, and the commies have known that a long time.
Yeah, sadly.
Who decides misinformation? Oh, they do. It's amazing to me. Okay, so this video comes out and Gavin kicks in. We gotta stop this. You never see that when it's the mainstream media getting shit wrong. And not just wrong, Jack, purposefully taking shit out of context.
Well, the media are never wrong because they create the news.
Never once do you see these politicians go, we need to stop the mainstream media from lying about our political opponents. That's horrible. But a clear joke, a clear fucking joke, like, oh, we gotta stop this shit. We can't have that. Mr. Newsom, get fucked. I don't like you, and I hope bad things happen to you. I hope you live a long time so they happen for a long time. I mean that sincerely.
Over again.
I hope Gavin Newsom lives to be 105 and that he gets painful boils all over his penis tonight that never go away.
That's very specific. You've put a little thought in this.
Actually, I didn't. That was right off the cuff.
Oh, that's rather disturbing.
You do not want a glimpse into my unfettered mind, my unabridged mind. It's
Yeah, we spend enough time together now.
Yeah.
I don't think that'd go well for either of us.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap up there. Oh wait, there was another thing over here. Do we need to see this one too?
No, we already talked about it.
Okay, all right, just to be sure.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are awesome. I am feeling better, Jack. Not good yet, but better. So I have every plan to be here again tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yeah. Although I do have some outside work to do, so we'll see. I did outside work yesterday, and it didn't bother me. It was just my normal already pain. So hopefully tomorrow's not any worse. Thank you for showing up. I realize we've been very sporadic lately, and I appreciate you guys coming because you guys are fucking amazing. Jack, anything you want to show?
I dropped a link to a cool video as always. Like Monkey said, thank you so much for all the support you give us. Keeps the show going, and just watching the video, we really do appreciate it. It helps quite a bit. You guys are awesome.
I got nothing else planned for this evening, so I'm gonna wrap this one up. And I don't even know if I'm playing a video game, Jack. I think I'm just gonna put something on TV and kick back and watch.
Hang on real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. We're probably going to get those disinformation laws here in Australia. Yeah, you're totally going to get them. Your leadership is nuts. But recently it's come out that our ABC News literally fabricated evidence that our military killed civilians. Holy shit. But they would specifically be exempt from the new laws. Of course they would. That's insane, man. Good luck. I wish you and the Brits all the best because your governments are crazy.
Your governments make ours seem not sane, but saner. Good luck.
Yeah.
Jack, thanks for joining me, my friend.
Oh, always glad to be here.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. I love you. Check out Mike Harlow. It's actually not Mike Harlow on Twitter. He's funny as shit. You can also check out his YouTube channel. I was over there with him today. Check that shit out. Take care of yourselves. We love you. See y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
I can come up with painful boils all over his penis in an instant, but I can't think of a song right now.
That'll happen.
Painful boils all over his penis as he lives a long, miserable life as the wife of Scott Wiener.